Okay, it's New Year's Eve and my final rant for 2020, and what a year it's been. The bubble kept going up and then crashed rapidly with COVID, and then with unbelievable, the greatest short-term stimulus program, and now money printing and fiscal, especially led by the U.S. We saw new highs in U.S. stocks right after that. This is the craziest year in history, and of course, I do not think that's going to end well because this bubble's due to top anyway. We've been expecting and telling subscribers that stocks are likely to edge up into the end of December, which they have done right up to the morning of December 29th. I showed a Russell 2000 channel. That's the leading one. The tech stocks have led this bubble, but the Russell 2000, the small caps, have been in a catch-up rally, especially since September, and they are leading this. And then we got this nice little final channel, and I've got channels and wedges in all the major indices, but the Russell 2000 was the most obvious and the most dramatic. And man, it almost broke that on the correction in December 29th. So again, we are edging into what looks like a top. I've been calling for a major long-term top. This may be the top of the greatest bubble in history. But also we have to allow, I think the real danger comes around February, March, as the economy keeps getting weaker before the vaccines can kick in more like in late spring, summer, and fall. So I think this is the danger period coming up. I see two scenarios here, which I'll discuss more in the January issue of the HSDent forecast coming out on Monday, on January 4th. That they're either we're topping right here and we start to see a sharp crash set in sometime in January, or we get kind of a double top with a top here because stocks are really losing momentum. Really, everything looks like at least a short-term top here. And we get a more minor correction in January, maybe a rally into late January or February, and then we get the big next big crash start by mid-February. So I give between now and mid-February it is topping process, but it very well could be now. And my co-author Andy Pancholi of the Market Timing Report in London is saying really hit some major long-term targets with the S&P and Dow here, so there's very limited upside, and the markets have been having a hard time going up. That's why the small caps are doing better. S&P and Dow are very limited here. So again, critical time, and I just put out an update today for subscribers. Gold got in a tricky position, breaking below 1,800 just in November, but now it's kind of come back and it's breaking through 1900, which I show in a chart is a critical area. So gold may be giving itself that shot that I've always thought it had, and more likely to see 2200 into early to mid next year. You got to remember that gold, and 2008 proved this very strongly, gold tends to rally in the early stages of a downturn like this, but then when it sees deflation and sees, oh my gosh, no, we're getting deleveraging, and of course, that means falling prices, which gold does not like. It likes inflation. Then it crashes, as it did suddenly and sharply in mid to late 2008. So gold, if it can keep breaking above 1900 a day, which it's starting to do, could go up for months before it itself crashes down to $1,000 in my scenario, and stocks look like they're topping. And Bitcoin is really the wild card here, because Bitcoin, I've been showing in my newsletters, has been correlating like the dot-coms did with the first tech bubble, being the strongest sector coming in the last few years. So bubbling the most and then crashing the most. So I think it's still most likely Bitcoin in its final run here, 29,000, the real resistance through the two big tops in 2013 and 17, very exponential, is at about 34,000 near term. And 29 is not that far. We could top here near term, or we could top later in 2021 on its 4-year cycle, around 40,000, but that depends on whether Bitcoin starts acting more like digital gold and rallying with gold and maybe stealing some of its thunder, or whether it peaks here with stocks, which I still think is a little more likely. So we'll see. And a lot more coming. I'm going to give a lot of rants and updates and stuff in January and February, because I think this is the real actions getting ready to happen on the greatest bubble in history. Thanks for listening, and Happy New Year.